Good morning, everybody. I'm Heather here with Lil Explorers today, and it's going to be growing themed to go along with our beautiful spring we're having right now. Knock on wood, hopefully that lasts. So hello replay viewers and viewers on Facebook. Good to have you here. And Pippin's here as well. She's just wandering around there. She's still waking up for the day, I think. So today I have got a couple stories about growing things in the garden, and we're going to actually go out into the yard on a little bit of a exploration. What did I call it in my post? I don't remember. But I'm gonna take you out into my yard and show you some of the things that are growing, and then I will challenge you after program to go out and find some of the things out in your own yard or your neighborhood. And hello Ariella and Easton, glad to have you guys here. Good morning. How are you doing? I just showed Pippin when I first came on, but here she is. Pippin's here with me today, being very helpful. And sorry for the bright sun over here. I've realized that when I close my blinds and try to limit the sun, it just makes the whole room bright green, which is distracting in itself, so we're not gonna bother with that. We're just gonna have some bright sun, which is good for our growing theme, because plants need sun to grow, don't they? So we're gonna start with our hello song, and you'll get your clapping hands out. This one's called Tiddly Tiddly Bumblebee, and then we're going to introduce ourselves. So it goes, Tiddly Tiddly Bumblebee, won't you say your name for me? Hi, I'm Heather, and that's a wonderful name. Okay, this time you guys are gonna do it. Tiddly Tiddly Bumblebee, won't you say your name for me? Shout out your name, siblings and all. Good job. And that's a wonderful name. Awesome. And Carolyn says, Hannah and Carissa are excited about plants too. Awesome. Glad to have you here, Hannah and Carissa. And thanks for being here, Carolyn, as well. Okay, so we'll start with our first book, which is called What's in the Garden. And I'm just going to flip the camera so that my image is not backwards. Hopefully, did that work? I think it worked. I'll wait for my live feed to catch up here to make sure I'm not upside down or backwards. But this is called What's in the Garden by Marianne Burks, illustrated by Chris Arbo. And interesting, I think I'm upside down, aren't I? Huh. Let's try this again. That's weird. It didn't happen to me before, but I guess I have to put my phone like that. Hopefully that still works. That's weird. That hasn't happened before except for my very first program, but I thought I switched it. So just letting the live feed catch up to make sure we're right way up. Looks like we are. Okay, try that again. So this is What's in the Garden. Let me know if you have a garden, or if maybe someone you know has a garden that you get to help with, if your neighbor or your grandparents have a garden. Delicious, nutritious, what could it be? In spring there are blossoms all over the tree, red, green, or yellow, with fruit that is round. If you don't pick it, it plops to the ground. Look at that beautiful illustration. We've got our fruit blooms. We have our apple. You plant them in rows and each forms a head, or else you can grow the leaf kind instead. It grows rather quickly in loose, moist soil, and if there's some frost, it won't even spoil. Okay, I see. We're supposed to guess what we think is coming up. So that last one was an apple. Look how juicy that looks. Wow. And there's a recipe for applesauce. So this one, what do we think this might be? The bunnies sure like to eat it. We know that. It's lettuce. And there's a mixed green salad recipe. Now we've got the part that you eat is way in the ground. So how can this fabulous food be found? Look for the feathery leaves on its top. It's long and it's orange, a real healthy crop. What do we think that is? It's underground and we know it's orange. Any guesses? A carrot. And we can make carrot muffins with carrots. Its pretty green head is a lovely bouquet that sometimes is eaten an interesting way. Try it uncooked. It's great with dip, munching the flowery buds on its tip. What do we think that could be? It's got big green leaves, and these butterflies or moths seem to like it, and these other beetle type bugs. Let's see. Come on, page. It's broccoli. Did you guys know that's what broccoli looks like? And then look, there's the little broccoli growing on the plant. It's round, it's tiny, it grows on a bush, and when made into sauce, it turns to a mush. This fabulous fruit can be used as a dye and is really yummy in muffins and pie. What do we think about that? It's a fruit and it can go in pies. Quite a few fruits can, but this one's also used as a dye. Let's see. These pages are so thick and glossy, they stick together. Oh, it's a blueberry. I was thinking maybe a cherry. Here we go. It comes in a bunch and has quite a crunch. It's chopped up in salad and stew, but spreading some cream cheese in one of the stalks is another fun thing you can do. Ooh, what do you think about that? It has stalks. There's a little slug on it, and we've got some robins down here catching the worms for breakfast. It's celery. See, we can make ants on a log. They've got the recipe for ants on a log, so you spread peanut butter on the celery and put some raisins on top. Now, you eat it in sauces with many a dish, or right off the vine, however you wish. This versatile fruit is even a drink, or is it a vegetable? What do you think? So we've got this plant, looks like some fuzzy stalks. We've got some ladybugs here. We've got the start of our fruit or our vegetable. It's a tomato. We use that in sauce, don't we? So we've got an easy tomato sauce recipe. It grows on a vine with skin that is green. It's sliced in a salad, it's long and it's lean, but sometimes it's shorter with soft little prickles and placed in a jar for real tasty pickles. What do we think that is? I was just talking to my niece and nephew, and they said they're growing some of these. So you, Ariella and Easton, should recognize these. I know you have some in your house. They're not this big yet, but they get made into pickles. Do you know? It's a cucumber. So they start off as cucumbers, don't they? And then we make them into pickles. And we've got a recipe for sweet and sour cucumber salad. Just bite its long leaf, you'll be able to tell The bulb underneath has a very strong smell. It makes people cry, so it's cut in great haste, but added in cooking enhances the taste. Do you guys know what that is? What kind of vegetable makes people cry when they cut it? Because it's such a strong smell. It's an onion. And we've got lots of different types of onions. These are some red onions. We've got yellow or white onions there as well. And here's a recipe for French onion soup. Okay, it's usually brown way down in the soil. You scrub it to bake it or peel it to boil. It doesn't have ears but does have eyes. It's really a favorite when mashed or as fries. Who knows what vegetable we eat mashed or in the form of fries? What are fries made of? There's also these little bugs that like to be on this plant. It's a potato. So here's some mashed potatoes, a recipe for garlic mashed potatoes. It has a long ear, but never an eye. This towering veggie can grow very high. The kernels are ripened by rays from the sun. To eat it with butter is really great fun. Let's see, what grows nice and tall like that, do you think? It's corn. And we've got a recipe for honey corn. Now, here we go. It grows in a field right near the corn. Frost tops its head on a chill autumn morn. It's orange and round with a vine that is green, and kids come to pick it on each Halloween. Oh, what do we use on Halloween? Who knows? And it's got these huge yellow blossoms. Those are really pretty. It's a pumpkin. And here's a recipe for roasted pumpkin seeds. We could also make pumpkin pie with pumpkins. Nutritious food for you and me, picked off a vine or from a tree, above the ground or deep below. Isn't it fun to watch it grow? And when it's ripe and good to eat, why not make a special treat? Try the recipes in this book, and with a grown-up, start to cook. And there's another page. So we've got some more information about each of the foods, how the plant starts off, and we've got the parts of a plant, and some keywords for cooking, and some more resources. So that's a really cool book with lots of great information on how different things grow in the garden. So comment down below and tell me if you have a garden at home, or if you know someone who has a garden. Let me know what you're growing in it. And if you don't have your own garden, tell me what you would want to grow in it. What's your dream garden look like? For my garden, I'll show you a little later, but we've started some things inside so that we can put them outside when it's time. And I'm planting some peas and some beans and some tomatoes, hopefully, as long as they all survive. And I'm also going to I got some carrot seeds and some lettuce seeds. So yeah, that's what is going in my garden for now. There we go. Flipped back around. Okay, so comment below and let me know what you would put in your garden if you have a garden or if you want a garden. Our next book is pretty long. It's called A Seed from the Start. So I think I'm just going to read a few interesting things out of here because, excuse me, it's got a lot of information. Actually, it's not as much as I remember, but it is a very cool book. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, I just flipped you around, but flip you back around. And then after our last book, we're going to do our outdoor scavenger hunt, kind of exploring hunt outside. Okay, so we'll read a few bits from this. It says, a seed is the start of a new plant life. Bury it in soil and watch it grow, grow, grow. What happens when you plant a corn seed? And we've got this close-up picture of the corn seed developing. So first the seed coat splits open, then a root pushes down into the soil. It soaks up water and minerals. Next, a shoot pokes up out of the soil. So you can see the shoot coming up above ground. So we don't see this happening because it's all happening underground. But we see when this part starts. The shoot stretches toward the sun, so it's growing a little taller. You can see its roots are getting more developed. And then the corn plant's first leaves spread open. They collect sunlight so the plant can make food and keep on growing. And that's called photosynthesis, when it uses its leaves to make some food. So that's how a corn seed starts, and that's what most seeds look like when they start off too, the same process. All right, let's see what else we can learn in here. You might recognize this big guy. Seeds fly. Dozens of seeds form inside a milkweed seed pod. When the seeds are full grown, the pod bursts open. The wind whisks the seeds away. How do milkweed seeds fly through the air? Each seed has dozens of light, silky hairs. The wind lifts the hairs up, up, up. It carries the seed through the sky. So this is what a milkweed seed pod looks like. And you may recognize this. It's a dandelion. Each dandelion seed grows inside a hard brown nut. The nut's long stem is attached to a clump of silky hairs. The wind can blow a dandelion seed up to 500 miles or 805 kilometers away. That's crazy. That's like quite a long road trip. All right, let's see what else. More about seeds and how they travel. Lots of different seeds. This says seeds drift. So, let's see. People plant coconut palms in all kinds of places, but they grow naturally on warm sandy beaches. Each coconut fruit has one seed inside. When the fruit is ripe, it falls down, down, down. It might land in the ocean, or it might hit the ground and then roll into the sea. Air pockets inside a coconut fruit help it stay afloat. It can drift on the currents for days or weeks or months. The seed inside the coconut fruit, shown here, started to sprout during its journey. So that is really cool. A coconut can just land in the ocean and travel wherever it wants to, and then it will sprout. Let's see one more. Seeds ride inside. This is an interesting one. This bird, called a fieldfare, can't resist eating a tasty rowan berry. As it flies from place to place, the seed rides inside its body until the bird poops. Then the seeds land in a new spot. And same thing for deer and different types of bats. Lots of animals carry seed in their bellies after they've eaten the fruit. All right, and that shows a lot about seeds and how they grow into plants. So I didn't fully say the name, but this is A Seed is the Start by Melissa Stewart, and it's by National Geographic Kids. So if you want to read this one more, it's really interesting as well. Okay, flip you back around. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. Well, I guess I'll introduce our next activity. So we're going to go over into my living room first so I can show you the seeds that I've started that will be going out in the garden. And then I'm going to take you out into my front yard where I'll show you, I'll give you a challenge to find some things in your own yard. Okay, so I'm just gonna flip you back around here and cover you up. Here's Pippin, and she will come with us to the living room, I'm sure. But now we're going to walk over to the living room. Conveniently, today is the first day that my husband is out at a meeting. So he's not here, which is nice because he makes a lot of noise when he's working. So these are some of my bedding plants that will go into my flower beds. So I've got some flowers here, but over here we've got our garden things. So I've started some peas, and some of them are getting a little crispy on the leaves. I think it's probably time to transplant these, and this is what a young pea plant looks like. So hopefully they do okay. They're getting a little wilty. So I've got peas there, and then over here I've got some beans, and not all of them are doing the best, but a few of them are doing very well. So here are my beans getting more leaves, and there's that guy. Hopefully these ones will still sprout. This guy's been stalled for a little while. And then I've got some tomatoes as well. So let me set you down here for a second while I open up my little greenhouse thing. So here we've got a couple of tomatoes sprouting. I've got more in there that are living in an egg carton, which is a good way to start seeds. And over here I've got some herbs. So this is what parsley looks like. And this one is still really young, but that is oregano. And I won't show you the other ones that aren't looking very good. But yeah, those are some of my plants that need to get put outside. So now we're gonna go outside, and I will give you your exploring challenge. So I'm gonna leave Pippin inside because we're going in the front yard, which isn't fenced. Okay, so here we are out in the front yard. So my challenge for you today is to find a pine cone somewhere in your yard. We have lots of them. So my challenge is, find a pine cone. My neighbor's outside. Find a pine cone and then dissect it and see what it looks like inside, and try to imagine how it might grow into a big tree one day. And if you want to do the extra challenge, also find something that is new growth. So here on my bush, I've got new little buds. And over here in the flower bed, we've got lots of new growth. These are going to be flowers. These ones are soft leaves. These ones are a little bit harder, well, they're not hard, they're flat, they're not soft. Here they are right beside each other, so you can see the difference. And yeah, don't mind my flower bed, I have to clean it up still. So, challenge number 1, let me flip you back around here. Challenge number 1 is to find a pine cone and dissect it and imagine how it would grow into a tree. Challenge number 2 is to find something that is new growth and predict what it's going to look like when it's fully grown. So I hope you liked this nighttime, not nighttime tales. We're at Lil Explorers today. I hope you liked Lil Explorers today, and I hope you have a wonderful long weekend. Enjoy the weather. It should be really nice. Thank you for attending, and good to see you all here.